This is a Commodore 1084S monitor and it won't turn on. Not because it's dead, but because of this here, the power switch. Now the power switch will not stay in. Now you'd think, just replace this. Easy. But these switches are expensive, hard to find and usually just as worn out. So instead, we're going to try and fix it properly using a much cheaper switch here and a 3D printed part, which I have here. So on that note, let's crack on and see if we can get this fixed. If, like me, you like building things, then make sure you pop along to PCBWay. They produce high quality custom PCBs perfect for replacement boards, prototypes or even your own retro products. So once you've got your project you want to build, all you got to do is simply click Add to Cart, which is this big green button on the right hand side. Once you've done that, you're presented with this new page here. Now it'll say here, we have detected 2-layer board at 45 by 51, etc. Depending on what board you got, obviously that changes. And as long as it says here 100% success, you're all good to go. Now there is a hyperlink at the top here for simple tutorial, which will give you some more information should you get lost. Now we do have some options we do need to set. The first one being, make sure you have the right country selected for your shipping costs, so you can make sure you're paying the right amount of postage to get it to your country. Now you got the quantity here, which is always set to 5, which is great because you've always got spares if things do actually go wrong on your build. Now also a couple of options down below which are worth looking at is here, which is your solder mask color and also your silk screen color. So your solder mask color is the color of the board, the silk screen color is the color of the words on the board. And last but not least, down the bottom here you can have assembly service if you want to get this board built. After you've done this, you click the button here, save to cart, it will then be processed. As you can see, the color of the boards is absolutely excellent and the quality is second to none. Great job PCBWay. So whether you're into repairing a retro classic or just building something brand new, PCBWay is the way to go. So check out the link down below. And on that note, let's crack on. So a quick warning before we start, this is a CRT monitor. These can hold high voltage even when unplugged. So if you're not confident working on this kind of gear, then don't try it. It can give you a very nasty shock. Right, let's get inside this. We'll get it apart, remove the screws, and we'll see what it looks like inside.
A few moments later.
You can probably see the back here where we're looking around this area here. Now we're just getting a meter on with a continuity and we'll see if we can test this switch, because it should be around these wires here, these contacts here. Now the switch that we are going to replace is this one here. It's a lot more heavy duty, I'd say, and also it clips into this little plastic just like so, upside down. We'll have a tie wrap around there, etc., to hold it into place. These things are a bit like tanks and weigh like a tank. They do have a cloth underneath to protect the screen, so all you people out there are shouting, what about the screen? Don't worry, there is a cloth under it. So what we're going to do is, I just want to check where we get continuity. So we're just going to get the multimeter. So I'm hoping you can see this now. So these are the two connections here. If I press this, you can hear it beeps, it gets continuity. Now if I let it go, because the mechanism isn't staying, then obviously I need to make sure them two connect, and also these two here. So the switch itself is working, just that it doesn't latch into place. What the plan is, we're going to get this switch removed and we're going to wire a new switch in. So I've got the old Heiko gun here ready to desolder these joints. So let's just crack on and get that sorted. Hopefully the switch does look as if it's free now. Now that was nice and easy, nice and quick, wasn't it? So we're just going to try see if we can get this switch out, which we can. Now you can probably see here is the old switch. Now I'll put a picture up there. It's very different to the one we're going to be putting in. I'll put them side by side and we'll put a picture on the screen here or there, one of the places. Anyway, we'll just grab a picture now on the screen so you can compare the two and see what difference they are. Now this should hopefully just press straight on, which it does, and then there we have a new switch. But of course this one wants to stay in, amazingly. Now, how are we going to connect this? What we're going to do is connect it upside down, just like so. Then wire from the top of these connections here. So we're going to be wiring from the top through to the board here, through these holes here. So let's just crack on and see if we can get that done. So I'm just putting the wires in first so that they don't get in the way at all.
Day 2.
Now it's Sunday morning. I finished soldering this up the other night and sort of left it, and today is a very rainy day. So this is where we're up to. We've got the switch wired up. I'll put the pictures up there so you can see. Now this is a 3D printed part here. The STL is in the link down below. And all we do is we slot that into place just like so. And then the screw goes through the bottom. So also what we need to do is to just get a tie wrap. Basically put the tie wrap through that hole there. Up around here, and then use it to zippy that onto there. It just holds it tighter, stops it from falling off. So what I'm going to do next is we're just going to check the continuity, so you can hear that. So at the moment between here and here we have no continuity, which is good. So we'll turn the switch on. That side is working and this side is good, so that should all be good now. All we need to do is to add this proper switch on there and now position it into place so that we can fit it. So I'm just going to get that fitted. We're going to get the monitor put back together, then we'll turn it on and give it a test.
Eventually.
Of truth, we're going to turn this on. It's all back together and hopefully this switch is going to work. So let's turn the switch on. We do indeed have a green light. Let's just see what happens. It looks like it is working and it hasn't turned off, it stayed on. So we'll just turn this Amiga on here and yes, we have a display. Absolutely brilliant. So there you go, that monitor is now fixed and is fully working. So before I go, big thanks for Stafford Computer for passing this on to me to repair. I do like a challenge to try something different now and again. I haven't done many monitors on the channel, so this is great, and the fact it's working is even better. Big thank you to everybody that pays a £1 membership. I've got 6 paying members, and thanks for keeping the lights on in this shed. Don't forget to comment down below, even if it's hello. And don't forget to check out my YouTube buddies. I like to Captain Commodore 8-bit Retro Refix. They all do great things. And also a big thank you to PCBWay as always for sponsoring my channel. So on that note, I'll see you next time on Retro For You. Hopefully my shed will be a bit more sorted. See you soon, guys. Bye.